Football free agency can be a very strange thing. I mean, you head across to Transfermarkt and you will see a list of players of bygone eras. As you can see on the screen, as we scroll through, you'll see players that you literally forgot about. Romain Sawyers, I'm pretty sure he used to play in and around the Premier League. Denis Cheryshev, I remember him from back in the day. Even if you go on to page 2 of this list, which is like the more well-known players, if you will. Carlos Vela of Arsenal on there. Moussa Doumbia, I'm sure everyone will remember him. Islam Slimani, once of Tottenham, I believe it was. And you keep on scrolling. Etienne Capoue. You remember these players, but it got me thinking. These players, yes, have had their time, could you say? But are there any that could actually benefit Aston Villa right now? And we go to page 1, and I'm going to let you guys guess before we get into the video. But I think I've found 2 or 3 that actually might. Let's discuss that in this video. But before we do talk about these free agents, be sure to leave a like, click the subscribe button down below this video, and turn notifications on so you don't miss a goddamn thing. Let's do it. And the first player we're going to be looking at is, of course, the big one, the biggest free agent in football right now, and that is Adrien Rabiot, just coming off of playing and starting all 5 of France's games in Euro 2024. He's only 29 years of age, a left-footed central midfielder. Now, you could argue that Aston Villa are most stacked in midfield, but let's not forget Dendoncker isn't going to be getting any playtime, more than likely. We're one injury away from being short in midfield, and obviously we did have to let Belenchia go. Douglas Luiz has gone. I know we've signed Barkley and Onana, but just one possibly to keep an eye on. He played 212 times for Juventus before his contract expired, and if we look at last season in the Serie A, you will see he managed to get 5 goals and 3 assists, which were very good in terms of percentile for his position in that league. His XG was right up there as well in terms of his shots and shots on target. His expected assists was around 1 above his assists as well. 960 successful passes off of about 85% success rate on that as well. 26 chances created and nearly 30% on his successful crosses, which is actually very, very impressive. Successful dribbles, he was one of the best in Serie A, an absolute standout driving forward from the back of the midfield block, if you will. 28 successful dribbles, nearly 1,700 touches, as you can see on the screen, 81 of those in the opposition box, and he won 38 fouls. And defensively, he is almost a scholar of defence. 39 tackles off of a 67% success ratio, 178 duels won, put him in what, 97.7th percentile for that. 55 aerial duels won, something which Onana brings to the team, but if you add Rabiot in as well, that is a double bubble. There you go, love that word. 57% of those won, as well as 25 interceptions, 9 blocks, 150 recoveries, and only dribbled past 15 times. He is a bit of a unit, 188 centimetres tall. Like I say, he's in the prime of his career. Deschamps still wants him to get picked for the French national team. He is rejecting offers from the Saudi League because he wants to play in Europe's top 5 leagues with a possible preference for the Premier League. I personally would love to see this one at Villa. What do you think though? Comment down below before we get in to number 2. Now next up, as you can see on the screen, might be one a little bit from left field, but this one comes with its own purpose. Diego Carlos is out injured. Matty Cash is out injured. We literally only have Ezri Konsa at the moment as a right-footed centre-back, and we only really, I know Bagard filled in there last week, I don't think we'll be seeing him do that again for a little while, have an 18-year-old Kostan Nedeljkovic, who, yes, is very, very good as our right-back option. Now, Joel Matip has experience in bundles. 258 games for Schalke, as you can see on the screen, 201 games for Liverpool. Fell out of favour at Liverpool, obviously with a change of manager as well. His contract was not renewed. He's only 33 years of age. He's fantastic with the ball at his feet, 195 centimetres tall, and more importantly, he is right-footed, which is what we need. We need a player who can fill in on the right-hand side of defence And I mean, Joel Matip's been there and done it all. He's won the Premier League, he's won the Champions League with Liverpool. I mean, this guy is clearly a very good defender. Last season only managed 10 games. He did get injured. I think it was an ACL injury. But we've seen players come back from ACL injuries, literally come back like in the shape of their lives. Look at Boubacar Kamara currently for Aston Villa, and Tyrone Mings, who again is left-footed. That's why I'm not counting him in this one. But as you can see, again, last season, even though he only got 10 games, he did manage to get a goal, an 87% pass success ratio, a 54% long ball success ratio as well. But stats, I mean, that this is a player that would really need the eye test for me in terms of stats. I'm not really that bothered about his stats, actually, to be fair. His interceptions and recoveries per game are very, very good, as well as his touches and dribbles, as well as passing. Obviously, 62 passes per game when he was playing last season for Liverpool. Again, this isn't a statistic player. This is an eye test player. Everyone knows how good Joel Matip is, and maybe for a short-term deal, just a one-year contract to help us through this season, Premier League, Champions League experience, a great backup on the right-hand side of defence, hopefully because of his age, wouldn't want the world in terms of wages, and I think it could really, really work. And last but not least, we are going to throw a wild card out there, and I want all the discussion in the world down in the comments about this one. Dele Alli. Would it be sensible for Emery and Villa to take a chance on a player who seriously wants to get his career back on track? Let's not forget, Dele Alli was probably one of England's best players those first couple of seasons for Tottenham. I cannot explain how good he was. He was definitely a streets won't forget player. Stuff has gone on in his personal life which has come back, I think, to haunt him later on in life. He's been open about that, and it was very, very brave of him to do so. And hopefully he's battling those demons and getting over them. And he done an interview recently where he says he still sets alarms because he wants to get into England squads. He's only 28 years of age. He has some of the most footballing talent I think the Premier League has probably seen. He was being compared to the likes of a Paul Gascoigne back in the day. And look, it hasn't worked out for him recently. Yes, since 2022, since he's moved to Everton, the loan to Besiktas back to Everton where he was released, it hasn't worked for him, clearly. I'm not even going to bother. Like, you go through his stats, they're going to be null and void. This was in, what is this in? The Premier League 23-24. He got one goal. Again, none of his stats stand out. We go back maybe to his, I don't think it has Besiktas. There we go, 22-23. His time at Besiktas, again, nothing stands out. It hasn't been working for him. But just as a chance, taking a chance on a player, giving a player a second chance, would it be worth it? I don't know. And there you have it, 3 free agents that Villa could still sign, because I believe you can still sign free agents for about another 5-6 days, who could help us in our first season in the Champions League. Comment down below your thoughts. I'll see you guys very, very soon. As always, up the Villa. Be nice to everyone. Peace.